Philothenic here with a ranked replay cast, this time sent in from one of the players, but I won't say who, so we don't know who wins at this point. But we do have a match between Showcasemike and Cat on Ceres. It should be a good one. Robot Scavengers, Nomads, and Elites. I kind of doubt that Elites are going to be picked. How does the carbon situation look like? Not the best, especially with underground nukes, but maybe that's what you go for. Nomads might be an interesting choice. Plenty of carbon, silicon to switch around with the return acclaim. How does aluminum look? Aluminum's low, electronics and glass is low, so nomads are definitely an option there. Maybe we're going to see double nomads. Otherwise, you could always see robots. Robots not too shabby on Ceres, but there is no high iron, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. Have to use a robot adjacency. Showcasemike is going to go for the nomad. No surprise there. Now we're going to wait for Cat to respond. Cat also going for a nomad. Yeah, multiple places you could find nomads, although surprised nobody took over here. But anyway, both players founding Nomad. Showcasemike already bought up all the electronics, trying to deny Cat the ability to buy up her electronics, but electronics were so low that Cat just ended up spending some extra money. So Showcasemike will have made just a little bit of a profit. It is an electronic colony, or a Russian colony, which has these machine shops, so that means that electronics will go up in price over the course of the match. Showcasemike probably bought a little bit too much into electronics, delayed his upgrade to HQ2, and actually went behind Cat. Let's see, what is Cat going to go into? Cat's going to go into some metal, going to go into some farms, going to buy up some water that's pretty cheap. Showcasemike is in some water, and also moving into farms. Cat's going into some ice for her water. Unfortunately, that means the water won't be on overnight, so we'll have to wait till daytime hits in a couple of hours versus Showcasemike. Water is online. Cat is immediately going to get frozen on her greenhouse farms. Her black market cooldown is up, but she doesn't quite have enough money to purchase an EMP. So Showcasemike is going to get away with selling down his food and making some decent money off of these 71 per tile farms. But Cat finally sells out, gets enough, EMPs those farms, so neither player making money off of the farms at this point. Showcasemike is 4k ahead in cash and resources over Cat. Cat had to sell out of just about everything and has, rounding down to 0, as both silicon and aluminum are next to worthless. So we're just gonna wait. And for our players to unfreeze and start making money again. Cat making some money now that her farms are back online. Gotta wait for the next one. Showcasemike does have enough money to get into HQ3, going to move into some more water. As going to go in split farms. Just wants to earn money off of that high food price, and we can see farms are $54, although the highest thing is uranium, which is why this uranium tile went for 32,000. Cat's not planning on making any power money off of this creeping power price, and instead just wanted the extra claim. But she is going to try and go into power to stabilize her debt. That's an interesting choice. She won't be able to pay off the debt anytime soon, assuming Showcasemike goes into some power, but right now Showcasemike is just willing to stay into these double farms, making some decent money per tile. Cat is going to nuke Showcasemike's water from a low down to a trace. The problem with going into these water pumps instead of the ice, and then Cat is going to buy up water as much as possible to try and make Showcasemike's farms as unprofitable as possible. Showcase Mike is at negative 1.4 water per second. Showcase Mike is going to freeze Cat's power. Doesn't want Cat climbing out of this 32k debt anytime. Cat's still HQ 2, and she is behind in claims. She needs another 3k for the upgrade, so that will happen sometime soon. Another reason I'm not quite certain about this power transition, although the nuclear plants are so cheap it probably didn't matter. So that should be fine. Showcase Mike swapping into power of his own solar panels. Doesn't want Cat climbing out of that debt. Also wants to get his debt under control. 18k. Still nothing to worry about, but HQ3 is usually when you move into and start thinking about power.
Black market is online.
Black market online for Showcase Mike. What is he going to use? Same for Cat. A mutiny. Going to mutiny one of the nuclear plants for Cat. Cat is going to mutiny it right back. Showcase Mike wins that trade because Showcase Mike paid less money and Cat is still on HQ2 versus Showcase Mike's HQ3. Showcase Mike has more claims to work with. Already swapped out of that water that was nuked into this other low. Part of the problem about throwing nukes at nomads is they just don't care. They switch and rotate out.
Let the bidding begin.
Nanotech. Nanotech is a very valuable patent on Ceres because late in the game the construction prices tend to go up. Cat's going to win it for 24k. Cat doesn't have enough money to keep her nuclear plants online. Cat is in a little bit of trouble here. She still hasn't upgraded to HQ3 yet. Showcase Mike has 16k in the bank, halfway there to HQ4. Needs a bunch of silicon. Showcase Mike is only in 2 lows, so that's why it's taking a long time. Extra claim, both players are going to like that. Showcase Mike moving into some chems. After that chem price boost, Cat is going to move into another farm with that extra claim. She also moved into chems of her own, but those were frozen. Showcase Mike is buying into something. Fuel. She's trying to get... No, Cat's buying into fuel, trying to increase the price of fuel to make these chems less profitable. And now there's a chem surplus, so those are going to die very quickly in terms of profits, especially because of Cat buying into this fuel. Cat can finally upgrade HQ3, and she should do that soon.
The black market is open for business.
Sells out of the fuel. Forcing Showcase Mike into the transition. Needs to hit that upgrade button. Decides to go to EMP instead. And now buying up into some water.
A nomadic HQ has been
Finally HQ3. Showcase Mike has not been able to do much with that HQ3 advantage. As you can see, only less than 20k ahead of Cat. Showcase Mike not able to move out up to HQ4 simply because of silicon. Probably should use that extra claim that they got to go into some more silicon just so they would have enough silicon to get to the upgrade, because 2 lows, not enough for a nomad. Cat's going to move out of silicon and straight into some power. Also in some electronics factories, making pretty decent money off of that. She has a nice huge stockpile of silicon. Just fine there.
Black market is online.
And because of that, she's going to beat, or could beat, Showcase Mike to HQ4, and she does. So it's right here. Definitely a big mistake for Showcase Mike. Somebody purchased a bribe claim and I wasn't paying attention. You have a extra claim going on that should go for probably somewhere in the 20s, maybe a little bit higher. Let's check out on that bribe claim really quick. Actually, multiple players have bribe a claim. Showcase Mike 2, Cat 1. So that's where some of Showcase Mike's money has been going that I haven't accounted for. 20k to Showcase Mike. Will Cat go for 22 or 24? No, she doesn't. Showcase Mike wins at 20. A little bit on the cheap side, but alright. He's going to another silicon. He's 25k worth of silicon. Come on. Use a claim on the third silicon. What is Cat in right now? Moving into some more water. And a bunch of solar panels. Wants to pay down that debt, which is starting to creep up a little bit, but still not in dangerous territory. Only in single A. You're good until it gets down to C range, and as I say that, the interest tick bumps it down to B. Showcase Mike finally hits HQ4. Has 3 claims. What is he going to use it for? Going to move into an elemental quarry. Yeah, look how much that spiked the price of silicon. Almost $100 in that upgrade. That was completely unnecessary.
Is open for business.
Has 3 claims, needs to use them for something. Water might not be a bad idea. Let's see here. Carbon's still good.
We're not surprised.
Cat fills out of a bunch of silicon, and that's one of the problems with upgrading when your opponent has a huge stockpile, so Cat just made a lot of money off of that. Now, quite a lot more money than Showcase Mike does. Showcase Mike is moving into nuclear plants and some uranium, chasing that high power price. Cat does have a lot of money now. She's in a lot of things that make money. Good source of water. These electronics factories have been doing work. He's made a lot of money off of that silicon. These electrolysis reactors should probably be switched over into greenhouse farms sometime in the near future. Cat's going to try and go for the majority buy right now. Showcase Mike will probably have enough to defend himself. We'll have to see. It's going to be a close one. Mutiny's going back and forth over this metal mine. It's back in Showcase Mike's hands. It's a nice source of money for Showcase Mike if the shipments can come in time. Showcase Mike is about just under $20,000 away from defending himself, maybe 16 or so. So once the shipment comes in, that'll do a lot. We're defending against the early aggression against Cat. Cat is finally moving out of the nuclear plants into greenhouse farms. $24K for the Pleasure Dome tile. Showcase is going to go for 28, pushing him all the way down into C debt. So that one seemed just a little bit high. Showcase is going to use it as a free claim and going to move it into something. Hasn't decided yet. Also moving into farms. Showcase is selling out of himself? No, that Cat's selling out of himself. Showcase is going to leave defending himself to the absolute last minute. This uranium shipment can get in, he'll be fine, and he is fine. Even before then, that was pretty close, unnecessarily close. Showcase Mike is going to nuke Cat's high uranium, going into another uranium tile for himself.
Your stock is being sold.
Does need to be concerned about debt, but Cat is able to upgrade to HQ5, has 5 more claims to play with. Still plenty of money to be made on the board. Food's still good. Silicon's still good. These metals are still pretty decent. Cat could just move into a second metal here and make some easy money off of that. But we'll see what she decides to do with her claims. Moving into solar panel, worried about debt. Doesn't want to fall into debt. Doesn't want to allow Showcase Mike to get out of debt with these nuclear plants either. Showcase Mike very slowly paying off this debt, $180 per second, so that's going to take a while. Showcase Mike still has that one claim that he hasn't used. No, or Showcase Mike decided to return this claim now that uranium is dropping, moving it into somewhere else. Deciding to nuke the aluminum and upgrading to HQ4, moving into some aluminum of his own. Wants to make some cheap money, quick money off of that aluminum. Look at that adjacency bonus. An easy source of profits that Cat has been ignoring, instead choosing to go into this power. But in the long term, hard to say which one's better in the long term. More nukes going on. Double nukes on Cat, from Cat onto Showcase Mike. Nuking 2 of these double tiles. Cat's still at an advantage this game. More money than Showcase Mike. Showcase Mike is in the rear, but he is moving into a patent lab. Disguised as a greenhouse farm. Still has one claim to deal with. He's paying through his debt very, very slowly. And looks to be adding some more. Cat deciding to pick up another claim for $32,000. Keeping some of those return claims in hand instead of connecting it up for the adjacency bonus. Showcase Mike still has one claim to use. Lots of things that you could do with that claim. That would make some money. Going into more electrolysis, probably not a bad idea. Going into more water, not necessarily a bad idea either, although water's a little bit hard to go into. Decides to move into a optimization sensor, always a good choice on Ceres. Slant drilling, good patent to pick up on Ceres. Showcase is going to force Cat to defend herself, and we can see how much of an advantage Cat does have right now in the stock game. Well, extra 2 pips, which means about a $65,000 advantage in cash on hand, although Showcase Mike has plenty of cash in pocket, so it's a little bit less.
The optimization center is ready. Time to start improving everything.
Right now, the problem is Cat does not really have any late game options going on, so I'm wondering how she's going to finish the buy against Showcase Mike. Showcase Mike has both the patent lab, which has been spied, and the optimization center. Still decent profits to be made on Offworld. Nobody's in iron. To be fair, there's not a really good way to move into iron. Showcase Mike is going to sell out of Cat. Wants the cash instead. Cat is going to sell out a share as well.
The black market is open for business.
Cat's going to immediately move into a Offworld. Hologram hidden. Let's check. The Offworld launchers are pretty good. That cost a pretty penny to put up. 100, probably close to 150K. Would be my guess. So that's a very expensive building. Going to take about 3 launches to pay for itself. Maybe a little bit more versus Showcase Mike going for the more standard optimization route on the Ceres. Moving into thinking machines, perhaps as a denial. Be interesting to see if Showcase Mike has spotted this very suspicious looking transition.
Before it's too late.
Liquid batteries, both players will definitely enjoy liquid batteries, especially Cat, as she has both solar panels and solar condensers. Showcase Mike with a couple solar condensers of his own, deciding not to bid for it. Showcase Mike also going into a very expensive Offworld. How the Offworlds cost $200,000, so Cat definitely getting the better deal off of the Offworlds. And this positioning for Showcase Mike is extremely odd. He put it on his best. Okay, I guess he does have slant drilling, but Gets thinking machines. So that still sends a little bit of money into Cat's pocket simply because Cat has the silicon advantage, 3 tiles versus 2. And Cat does immediately spot this Offworld. Cat's Offworld is launching already. Cat is going to go into an optimization center, it looks like. Finally, more spies going down. Cat just wants to make sure there's no funny business going on. This is a spot where there's a hologram sitting here. Hopefully Showcase Mike isn't planning on building a 222k Offworld. That would be a little bit insane. 169 is somebody just sold out of a lot of something. Those launches are pretty good, though. EMP over on Showcase Mike's territory. Thinking machines will make that less harmful. Cat finally moving into some optimization centers of her own, going to increase the amount of money she's making on the elemental quarries.
The engineers have advanced our production.
So Tile just sitting here doing nothing for far too long.
Offworld shipment launched.
Cat definitely has the advantage in everything except for optimizations and debt at this point. Let's check and see what do the optimizations for Showcase Mike look right now. For optimization, so actually hasn't been using it as much as one would like. Going for transparent aluminum. That would have been nice before building this 200k Offworld. So that's what the second tile is going to be for. This Offworld now 100k, which is now in the far more reasonable range. Unfortunately, there's not going to be enough time because I think Cat's going to be able to finish this game far before then. Transparent aluminum is out, but that Offworld's still quite expensive. 84k. That's 2 launches though, so if Showcase Mike had done that at the beginning, had enough silicon, that Offworld play may have been better. And you can just see here this Offworld making $600 a second, and the silicon right next to it making $200 less. Cat over here. Well, as I say that, somebody sold out of a lot of silicon. Crashing the price. It's probably Cat, because Cat has plenty of silicon income and Showcase Mike just used a bunch. So this Offworld is going to come up. It's going to be far too late. Thinking machine, EMPs from Cat onto Showcase Mike. Showcase Mike has not been using the black market on Cat recently at all. Cat's territory is a little bit harder to hit, but definitely could go into the silicon. Now Cat's gonna go into second Offworld. They're now really expensive again. So I can't really say. I don't think that was the best idea. I'd rather see a second optimization center. Look, there's plenty of items on the board that you can make decent money with.
Our methods continue to improve.
You could even go into an iron mine and make good money there.
The black market is
Fuel is a decent market. Could move into a third electrolysis reactor. That price is almost real. This food price is a little bit artificial. And Cat propping that up, speeding some money over into Showcase Mike, but she is far enough ahead that it may not matter. More underground nukes, this time with Showcase Mike deciding to nuke Cat back. But finally some more black market from Showcase Mike. Time to get out of these solar panels and switch them into something better. Electrolysis reactors, you have plenty of fuel.
Optimization routine successful.
Yeah, Showcase Mike's making a killing off of all these electrolysis reactors. Showcase Mike needs to get out of these nuclear plants, move them into something else. Maybe some more electronics. Showcasemike does have plenty of aluminum, carbon, and a silicon income for that. These chems aren't the best either, but I can understand why they're there, simply because Showcasemike wants to keep both of these optimization centers online, which are now finally moving into, well, see, chems isn't something I would be optimizing right now, but everything else just fine. There's a 10% difference between our players, 60, less than 10% now.
Launch affirmative. What a payout. Successful off-world shipment. Make room for the profits.
The Offworlds are finally decreasing in value. There's not enough food on the board. But the food prices are too high, I should say. Cat's moving into a bunch of food. That is almost a real food price. Nobody has a large store of food. Looks like Showcasemike might be able to win this. It's going to be very close, and it's largely going to depend on these off-world timings, even though off-worlds aren't that good anymore. Well, 33k. Still pretty decent, so off-world timings, it's going to be, it looks like Showcasemike will win the off-world timing battle. These last two off-world that are going to come off are going to secure the victory for Showcasemike. Could cancel out of the unnecessary optimizations. Oh, it's going to be far closer. Showcasemike has it. Cat almost there. Who's going to hit that buy button first? Oh, Cat takes it. That was Showcasemike's game to win, but wasn't on the ball. Needed to cancel out of the chemicals. Very close right at the end. Not sure where Cat got that jump in money. I thought that was Showcasemike's game to win. But a very weird game on Ceres. It's not very often that you see two 200k Offworlds being constructed. That's absolutely ridiculous. Hope you enjoyed this replay cast. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, or leave a message in the comments. Feel Authentic, signing out.